Good evening. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our Fool's Landing campaign set here in the Forgotten Realms and in Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd edition, where I will be the dungeon master this evening. I'm Jamie, and I'm joined tonight by 5 awesome role players that I'm going to have introduce themselves and their characters, starting from left to right on my screen with Wayne. Good evening.
Hello, I'm Wayne. I am playing Seharn, a 4th level aquatic cleric of Voltaire.
Yes, very good. And next up, we have Molly.
She's AFK, bro.
She might have stepped away. Yeah, it's fine. We'll skip by Molly, come back to Molly, and introduce Tim.
Tim, I'm playing Griff. He's a 4th level ranger. Human-ish. I think I'm 4th.
Yes, you are 4th. We'll do a recap here in a second, but you are definitely a 4th level ranger. Awesome. And next is Chris.
Hey there, I'm Chris, and I'm playing that 5th level mage, full elf, and we'll see what happens to me today.
Level 5. Yes.
Yep.
All right, and then next is Brandon. Good evening.
Good evening. I am Brandon. I am playing Nod, a humanoid shadow thief.
All right, and then I'm going to circle back to Molly.
Hi, sorry, I was AFK, but I could hear, but I couldn't. I used push to talk. I'm playing Mithra. She is a level fighter with a gladiator kit. Rashami.
Perfect. So let's take a quick look again at where our players are in terms of your experience. And we'll take a look also at the experience points up till last session. So if we look at this all together, you can see our players through session 35. We have Kurza at level 5, a Mithra at level 5 fighter, Griff level 4, Seharn level 4, and Nod level 4. Seems like probably our next person to cross the line would be Nod. He would very likely be next, and followed by Seharn, and then Griff, where that would put the whole party at level 5. So that's where we're at right now. We're straddling the line with some of the legacy players and the newer players, where you can see we got between 4 and 5 essentially for the whole party. So
You're waiting to unleash the Fang Dragon, aren't you?
I've got to get you all to a certain point before I can do that, but so I'm trying like hell.
Yep. I'm sure. I would like that instant death set. The TPK session will be fun. Something to look forward to.
It could be any night, Wayne. It could literally be any night. You've had a couple close nights so far. Maybe we could talk a little bit about last session, and if anyone would like to do a recap of where we left off, so that we can pick up there, and I'll move us over to the map while you do that. I want to say you're on the 3rd floor.
We initially spent like a couple of days in a row just healing and trying to
identifying stuff.
Griff. Yeah, and identifying, and Griff is poisoned currently. You're still poisoned, right?
I'm finally past a save, yeah.
Finally passed the save,
Yeah.
right? And then we went.
Made a save, yeah.
Right. Spent a couple of days using heal spells and trying to use our herbalism to mitigate that. And then we ended up going to the 3rd floor to attack the suits of armor. I forget what they're called now.
Animated horrors.
Helmed horrors, yeah.
Helmed horrors, the hallway, because they were blocking us. And we went in and dealt with them. That went not too bad. That was not horrible.
Here's your helmed horror.
Like one of the NPCs went down in that fight, right?
I think he just got knocked unconscious.
He got knocked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your lone NPC.
He took a crit.
Yeah.
To the head.
I think it's fair to introduce him too as a party member. He is your lone NPC at this point, in terms of those who are not currently looking like a statue. He is
Yeah, turned to stone.
a Sverfnevlin deep gnome named Renwick who has joined the party, and he's hunting the wizard Varodis as you are. And he did get knocked out by the Helmed Horror because there was a critical hit against him. So he was down and out for a bit, hurt a little bit, and I think you guys all swept in and cleaned out the Helmed Horrors. So you've pretty much
Yeah,
cleared
Lob.
everything that you're aware of, all the rooms that you've been through, at least in terms of this map, through 16, I believe.
What,
Right.
one level above us?
Just on this floor, I'm saying, but yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
so we got everything, on this floor, and then we went back to Baden in room 9D, and that's where we were. And Kurza was we were trying to turn him back to the flesh. So he was casting stone to flesh.
That was unsuccessful.
It was unsuccessful, unfortunately.
And he was important to us. He'd been a lead NPC, pretty heroic, staunch.
Knowledgeable.
He
Yeah.
he was an experienced
It was
wizard.
his life's work.
Yeah, he's a
Right.
fairly experienced wizard, and definitely the most knowledgeable of all of you in terms of what this was. But
'Cause we've been letting him take the lead mostly in this place.
Yep. And so I think it definitely set the party back. Losing him changes things quite a bit in terms of your approach. You've been a lot more cautious, I think, since you've lost him. Minus one session where there was a lot of clearing of space. But other than that, I think you guys have realized that he was a pretty important part. Unfortunately, now he's still stuck in this state. But we pick up here. You're in this basically living area where previously there was what was their name? They were the Madar.
Madar.
And those Madar were in this section, so you're taking over and using that living space. You've been able to secure yourselves in here. I believe you were going to take a rest, I believe. Was that where we left off specifically? Does anyone recall?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think everybody was out of spells at this point. Yeah, Kurza was going to do Kurza was going to do the stone to flesh and then split off. And then the mirrors are out here.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't we discuss we could go down a level to the original level and
Yeah,
probably sleep in normal time?
it's worth mentioning that you have investigated the arcane powers that seem to control this tower and determined that there is some type of advancing of age that seems to occur the higher up that you get in the tower. At least that's been Kurza's conclusion, and the rest of you would agree by the eye test.
How much time passed for the people we left on the first floor between each of our returns? Did more time pass for them than for us?
It doesn't appear so. It doesn't appear like they haven't seen you in a month. It just seems like the time you spend there goes faster for you, for your body and your physical form.
It's like an energy drain.
Yeah, it's a life drain. It's a life drain. Yep.
Does that have any effect on our fatigue?
No, it doesn't. It's just advancing for age for you. It also doesn't seem to affect your levels. So it's not that sinister, but it is definitely advancing your age. And again, it's accelerating as you're climbing up. So at this point, you believe it's maybe you're a few months
probably go back downstairs.
Down the road right now, further than you would have been otherwise.
I have a quick question about the Helmed Horrors. I was wondering, I know the one that we fought had a two-handed sword. I was wondering, did any of them carry a shield like the artwork, or yeah, are there any shields lying about? Is my question. Like,
Yeah, there are 2 shields. So 2 of them were shielded and 2 of them were not, of the 4. So 2 of these would have been shielded and one of these was not, because the one you first fought didn't have a shield either. So yeah, there are shields.
I definitely want to grab one of those shields and have Gregor carry it.
Okay. Okay.
Give him something to hide behind, and also pass it up to me.
You got it. Okay.
So the Tours had two-handed swords, and 2 of them had
Shields and long
long
swords.
swords.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of shield is it, Jamie? Is it a medium or a
medium? The shields, though, as you look at most of this equipment, seems to be from the era of the Seychelles elves, and in the style and manner of how they forged their armor. So it's got some very ancient qualities to it as well, which make it very interesting. So certainly it feels a little lighter too than it seems like it should. It seems like it's thick metal, but it holds as if it's thin metal. So certainly can sense the quality in it.
could
And
be valuable?
yeah, I think you would think so. You would think so. And Gregor doesn't have too much trouble carrying it, despite the fact he's not particularly strong.
Mithril.
So
That's much lighter.
I believe you guys are trying to get a night's rest so that you can replenish spells. Is that right?
Yeah, I'd like
Yes.
to do that on the first level if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah. Not
Yeah,
would
we go
encourage
back
that.
down.
Yeah,
If we're gonna
Nod's,
rest, let's go back down
Nod's
to the
in agreement,
barracks.
I believe. Let's move you guys down. Where are you thinking? All the way down to the lowest
Yeah.
level? Okay. All right.
Barracks, yeah.
All right.
I am still injured 9 points. Anybody else? I have a couple of spells I
I'm
can
down
still
11.
I'm
with.
down to half.
Wow.
All right.
And I'm out of potions.
So you make your way down through those levels uneventfully back to your 2 sailor buddies, Quig and was it Afrain? Is that the other one? But these guys, again, as you return,
Iliac and Quig.
That's right. Thank you. And they don't seem like any more time has passed for them than what you feel. But again, as you return, they're looking at you more closely now, seeing how you've aged, and they're curious about that and asking you what you've seen. What is up there?
Any horrors?
We haven't figured out that room, and we're avoiding it, aren't we? Room 15, the hourglasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hourglass room we haven't really played with too much. Once we were there, the next day, Kurza and Mithra were down on the bottom. That's when Sehar, Nod, and I went on a clearing session, just brute. That's where we fought the drow and all that. We haven't been back since then. And Griff has no wish to go back there.
Neither does Sahar. It's not going to help us get out of here. Whatever this tower is for, probably not any good.
They'll all be. It's whatever's at the very top where that teleporter is.
Yeah, that's room 14 where the levitation disc that Kurza identified.
Yeah, here, I'll put you back on that map.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have any invisibility. We could float somebody up there to scope it out for us. As it is, I suggest we just distribute our healing maybe as best we can, and then we're going to have to go check it out. I have no potions left. And
I
I've
have
got
one
2
full potion
spells.
left if anybody needs it.
I'm willing to spend all my healing on you folks. So who would like a D8? I have
Uh,
2.
Start with Nod.
so
Yeah.
I'm half. I am 15.
All right. Oh,
Perfect.
perfect.
Feeling better. Thank you.
Yes. Apologies.
Yeah, I think
Is that it? Just the die 8, no wisdom modifiers or anything?
No, we're not using anything like that. It's just 1D8.
Okay.
Yeah, Renwick's
I was
also
thinking
about
about that.
half health. So I think there's several of you who are around who are hurt right now.
Like I said, I've got a full healing potion if
Gentle
anybody
runner.
needs it then. So go ahead and use it.
We're not really in danger in this tower, are we? We've pretty much been through every room.
For the top
To
one.
the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You've,
the top.
I think,
Other than the top.
yeah, I want to say you've
I mean-
been in all the rooms on floors 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, you have not set foot yet on the 4th floor.
So just
Or the
story-wise, how much sense does it make if we just decide to live here for a couple of days? Recover spells, recover hit points. Because mechanically, tactically, what's upstairs? I don't want to die to it. We might. Let's go in as prepared as possible.
Yeah, I think
I'm not against prep.
Jamie
know-
might say that we can't.
No, I'll just say that what your characters would know at this point is that you've seen various things roaming through the tower, and at certain intervals, in fact, at one interval, you had a helmed horror who descended to patrol the tower, and you fought him in the hallway. So at this point, you've gone up and eradicated all of his brethren and now cleared floors 1, 2, and 3 as far as you're aware. And if you wanted to hole up down there, you could certainly try to do that. I don't think that's illogical. It's just a matter of at a certain point, again, you guys are starting to now use some rations and really have to start playing survival a little bit because it's been a number of days, but you feel like you're fairly safe here on this 1st floor of the tower.
Imagine we've been in this tower about a week at least, right?
In real time or in game time, absolutely. Yeah, it's been close to a week. Yeah.
We've taken it.
How's
We took a
Renwick
couple.
doing?
He's around half health.
Yeah, I think we've taken a couple rests that were like 2 nights long already. Now we're doing a 3rd one.
If you use
guess-
your like a day, if you rested and then you used your spells on the next day to heal, and then another day and you healed again, I don't know how many days that would take you. I'm not sure how much healing you can do in a given day if you focused all your magic on healing, but it seems like a way that in a matter of 2 or 3 days you should be able to bring people up pretty high.
Plus, we're regenerating at least 1 hit point per night
At
from
least,
rest.
and that's in addition to your con bonuses.
Yep. So I have four low-level, 1st-level healing spells per day. That's my limit.
I think aid, if you have 2nd level aid at some point heals. It gives temporary hit points, but I think it actually does heal.
8 gives you like 1 to 8 hit points, and it acts like a bless spell. So you get plus to like hit, saves, and all that.
So let's say that you
think that's
all are
how it-
gonna try to rest for a couple of days here. Give me the watch order that you're going to use during those evenings. I'll do a check and see if anything catches your attention, and we'll otherwise figure out what you've recovered.
Can't let us off easy, Jamie. Wow.
I'll take
Well,
the
trust-
last half
This is
of
easy.
all of the
This
watch
is
orders.
easy, Wayne.
This is easy. Yeah.
This is quite easy.
Yeah, and I'll take the first half of all the watch hours, and then maybe other people can, or
Split
not
it
quite
in half.
half, but
Okay. Mithra first.
I'm fine with maybe last watch because then I can pray
get up
while
early.
I'm listening and take care of all that while I'm
Okay.
listening and
Yeah.
watching.
Who's
Mithra's going to take 4 hours. I'll take another 4 hours. Everybody
Alright.
else can take 1 or 2.
okay? So I think
I'm at-
it's like this kind of. Oh, okay. I had it wrong. I think I was thinking Saharn was at the end, but let me use what Tim got. Okay.
Because it's probably Mithra along with Nod for a short time, and then it's Mithra and Griff,
Either way.
Okay.
and then maybe Griff and me, and Saharn and me.
Yeah, it's probably best if there's 2 of us,
Yeah,
especially
'cause
if we're going to be around
We
for a
want a
little while.
warrior. Yeah.
You
Before we
can-
go to sleep
Go ahead.
on the first night, I'm gonna. Oh, great! I did better for you now. Now you have another 2.
Hey, I'm feeling even better. Thank you, Saharn.
You get what? Your
I don't think
1 plus your
Valkyr
con or something for each night?
Hang on.
Valkyr
Yeah,
is not
so
very impressed with me as a priest. Apparently,
is this one night?
Yeah, I'm gonna run 2 nights for you because I believe
Okay.
Saharn is gonna
that's
use
8.
all his magic on healing that he can.
Mithra wants to lock up the armor in a chest from the Helmed Horrors, just in case they somehow reanimate before the first night.
Okay, so
Okay.
by
I
that
do 2
paranoia,
nights,
that's
and
good.
I'm only down 3 hit points.
So we're just see if we have a
Okay.
encounter.
During the first night, in the middle watch when Griff is keeping watch, the humming sound stops again during
that's
your
bad.
watch.
That's right. We
So-
never solved that.
You haven't quite figured out the source, but you knew you're getting closer, and just during your watch, you just notice suddenly it gets utterly silent, and you no longer hear that humming sound, almost like an organ ringing in your ear. It just stops, and the others probably are just sleeping soundly, and now you're hearing them all snore all of a sudden, whereas before it was washing out so much sound. But you can wake up and pass on your watch, and it passes through the evening, and the first night goes by and nothing else transpires. But all of you now would notice this eerie quiet that was previously washed in this sound. And then for the second evening, we're just running the same watch. Or actually, Wayne, do you want to cast any other healing during this second day?
I certainly want to blow all my spells if I can.
Yeah, I'll let you run that through, whoever
Yeah.
you want to try to heal.
I'd like a healing if you can spare one.
Yes. For Mithra. Are you kidding me?
That's absolute
Every little bit
fire.
helps.
You got those
Are you kidding me?
astonishing fortunes.
Welcome to the club, Saharn.
I don't think you can use an astonishing fortune on a result.
I don't mind
Like
if you
a
do, but I wouldn't recommend you do it, to be honest.
No,
Not for healing, yeah, no.
No,
It was more teasing. I don't want to see what else you're doing.
because I could roll 1, 2, 5 ones and more ones
It
in a row.
honestly, for me, you can use them for whatever you want, once for whatever result you want. But again, in this case, I wouldn't waste it. It's
No,
Mm.
no,
you've got a lot of
no.
other things up your sleeve.
Right. I'm going to continue to pray over Mithra or there.
That's better.
Awesome.
That's much better.
That's much better. All
The
right.
most healing I've seen you do all day. Why didn't you do that earlier?
You're right.
I don't know.
It's like Saharn doesn't like you, Nod. You're maybe
Yeah,
a
I'm
little
starting to eye him a
paranoid.
little suspiciously, yeah.
No. It's not coming through strong. My prayers are not being answered with vigor.
I can't curse his
Like-
red bar.
I'm like, yeah.
You don't see it?
Not Kurzus.
No one sees Kurza's? Okay.
I don't know. You're all down on my screen.
That's-
Hard to see it. You're down
See it now.
still,
Okay.
Brandon. Nod is still down.
I'm down 9, yes.
Yeah, he's there.
Griff
forget
down.
yourself.
Down a bit.
I'm good.
How about Kurza?
Down 3.
Curses
I
looking.
didn't
And
take
Renwick
any
as
damage
well.
in that fight.
All right.
And don't forget our friend
learning.
Renwick here.
How much our friend down?
He is half. I'll put his bar on there for you guys. You've
Well,
fought with him enough.
from Seharn's point of view, I'm going to give him a heal. Oh, there's good for him.
Goodness.
Ah,
And I will give Nod my last. Can't see that die roll. Oh,
perfect.
great. Perfect. Another 2.
And what about your aids? Oh wow.
Eight's a second level spell, but I think that really just acts like a bless and gives you temporary hit points for the duration of the spell. It wouldn't really.
I think it increases your maximum HP, and whenever it does that, you keep the HP. It heals you, for example, 5 HP, you get max. I think you keep that 5. You might actually be able to just post it.
All right. That's all you're healing for the day, though, Wayne?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Need to go up in level before I get a heavier healing spell. Or we find the magical chest of 100 healing potions.
We're going through the second night's roll here, and this night goes through uneventfully all the way to morning. So you'll have that extra night of sleep and rest.
The
so
music
you guys
running again
add
or
to
not?
that.
Or not?
No. Good question. You don't hear it. This has been
So I'm not
one of the longest intervals where you haven't heard the sound.
If I'm the mage and I've come back and I see a bunch of damage to the place and my guards are missing, maybe it's time to go and magic do more guards. So it's possible he may be recreating things or fixing things. We may have to be careful if we go back when we go back up the stairs. Because I guess the question is, do we want to meet the mage or not? I know, what is it, Renwick does, right?
Renwick is adamant that's his destiny to confront the mage. So he's
probably wants it dead.
He's operating under the assumption that you are all doing that as well. So I think if there is any discussion about not doing that, I think he would probably do it out of his earshot, because you know how adamant he is. So I don't want to cut off that possibility if you guys have a different plan. So you can certainly have a discussion out of his earshot if you'd like to consider other options. But that is currently the state of affairs here.
Well, I'm perfectly.
Are still down hit points. So how do want to heal some more, or we want to go?
How many full days have we spent at this?
2 days.
2 nights.
1?
Yeah, 2 nights.
Actually,
Who's down hit points?
You're on the second day now, so Saharn could continue to heal today. He hasn't done any healing here on the second day.
I got you. I'm with you now. I'm all myself.
Oh, that's important.
Renwick and Saharn are both the lowest. Nod needs a little bit too, from what I can see. But,
yeah, if I stay out of direct combat, I'm less worried about the tactical side of this game. From a story point of view, I'm really a humble, non-violent, if I can be, person. I can heal. I'm worried about you.
Heal yourself and Renwick. If Nod's down a couple of points, we have another night of healing, natural healing that we can do, right? So
that's max.
Okay.
Max.
All right.
Night.
Okay.
So Renwick.
2 more.
Yeah, because if we're gonna do when we attack the mage, it's got to be with all out.
Myself.
Wayne,
I am doing
swear, buddy,
horrible.
This is just a sign of things to come.
Your
damage is going to be max damage, I promise.
I'm always watching Dungeon Musings, and Jeff always runs into those silly streaks.
You
But
may
I
be our
think
Jeff.
I may be the Jeff of this group for
That's a
sure. This is
compliment. That's a compliment. Yeah, that's
let's see, one. We rolled
How do you feel
1,
about
2, 3,
tentacles?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 heals, and
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4,
How
5,
much you have
6
left?
of them are 2 or less.
One or two. Yeah, the
Yeah,
5 and a 7. Yeah, your
Right.
average is
yeah.
terrible right now.
I'm the worst priest in Dungeons and Dragons history.
1, 2, 3.
The
Uh,
dice are
What do you have
fickle. It
left?
must be the tower somehow.
I think
Renwick
it's
needs
something like
another.
that.
You need some
Renwick.
water, friend.
Oh my god. Okay.
All right, I'm going to take the last one. And
Please be
wow,
something other than a 1 or a 2.
There it is.
a 5.
Goodness gracious.
All right,
I don't know that
so
I've
I'm
seen that
actually
kind of streak in a minute.
A little better.
Okay.
so actually I'm down 1 hit point
Oh.
and will be fully healed by morning, rested and comfortable.
Okay. He is
Awesome.
pretty close. He's percentish somewhere in there.
After one more night's rest,
Yeah.
most of us should be at or near
Yeah.
max.
If
then.
I assume you're gonna save your spells on the next day. You're not gonna do a bunch of healing spells the next day. So this is really
we'll
just
wake
about
up.
restoring your spells.
Right,
Yeah.
wake up.
Okay.
Be the last night.
Yep. Okay.
Well, I appreciate all the free pass, Mr. DM, but do we need to start worrying about how much food we have left right at this point?
Yeah, I do think so. I do think it's gotten to the point that
Yeah.
we should take inventory to see where we are, because you're not only feeding yourselves, but you're feeding the pirates as well. Renwick has his own ration situation too. It is getting down to some of that nitty gritty. I don't know. Everyone should have had some amount of rations that they brought with them into all of this, but if you can all just take inventory of where you're at, we're down a week right now. We've been 1 week into this
So
since we
7
left
days?
the boat.
Okay. So I started out with the sack because I don't carry
I have
much. I have
11 days
28.
left.
All right.
Okay.
I have 21 days left if I just take out 7 for myself.
I've got 11
I
left.
am out of food.
And I can
I
also,
have 11.
I've been using all my healing spells, but if worse comes to worse, I can feed us.
Okay. So the pirates are out
Alright,
of
so
food. I think Nod is out of food.
I've got a week, and Mithra doesn't need to eat, but she needs to feed Gregor as well
Okay.
as the pirates.
So hers is
What? You don't need to eat?
No,
why don't you mark down?
Mithra, you have a special
Sorry.
ring. I don't know if you've ever shown that ring to anybody or explained that to anybody.
No, I haven't, but yeah, I probably would share that at this point, that I came upon this ring in my homeland that is blessed by Chantea, and wait, who you call Chantea, and it allows me to stay alert longer and keeps away hunger.
Yeah.
Pains me.
Not only does she benefit from the sleep, so her sleep is basically like elven sleep, so she only needs half the amount of sleep that a human would need, and food-wise, she's doesn't really require much in the way of sustenance. It's like a fraction of what others would need. So she's able to then divert food and save food for Gregor and others. I think, again, we've been here for about a week. I believe the pirates have now worn out their set of rations. Sounds like Nod's out of rations, but Saharn and Griff, you have a couple extra. Kurza, how are you on rations?
11 days.
Okay. So there's some things
Alright.
to go around here. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Saharn, how many did you have left?
If I just took a week off for myself, I would have 21 days left, but I feel like there should be some deduction for
Why don't
having
you give 10 to Nod, and then we'll all have 10 or 11.
fair. I have 11 days, then Nod has 10 from me.
Okay.
I have
Should I-
11. Kurz has 11.
You'll need to leave a couple with these guys is all. I think just making sure you've got
Okay.
some for them to survive on until you return. And you're
I
making
will give. Sorry, I was gonna say I'll give one. Or if you want to give one, then I'm down to 10. Should be good at that point.
Okay, I'm down to 10 now too.
How many should I subtract for Gregor so far? A week. Okay, yeah, so I'm out. I imagine everyone's getting sick of rations. We need to get on with this.
Yeah.
If worse comes to worse, if we run out of food, Saharn can sustain it. I can make enough food for the group this size because
He can create some food and
food and water.
What a
Which-
blessing.
So
We
it's,
have the
I can
cup.
do. So
We have
one
the
cube.
cup of endless water.
There we go. We
That's
never run
true.
out of water.
Oh,
That's true. You
really?
have that.
I saw
Yeah.
that in the notes.
Not
and
not
I
has
wasn't,
that.
so we got this little cup that makes endless water.
Yeah.
Huh?
If I had that cup, I'd never have to worry about submersing myself. I could stay hydrated all the time.
That's true. You probably would have figured that out over this course of time. And that's a great point. Almost any
Yeah.
time you would see water, I would think you would want to immerse yourself or at least splash yourself with it. So finding the cup
Right?
would have been a relief for you. Yeah, I
An
would,
aquatic elf
yeah.
out of water, that's the
Every
perfect
night I
magic
would
item.
think you're like washing yourself in it as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and if Kurza could get access to shrink, then you could bathe in it.
It could be a tiny water elf.
Who owns the cup? Is that his?
Nod has it in his inventory. He also has a continual light candle that we found when
Well, I had that party treasure, but
hmm Yeah, keep in
With a
mind the
sticker
candle
in it.
doesn't give a whole lot of radius like a torch would, but it is quite useful. It is an ever-burning candle in terms of once it's upright, it lights its immediate 5 to 10 foot radius.
Right? It's
One
the
of the
perfect cleric mage item for scroll writing and studying. The Mithra can't see in the dark.
Right.
yeah,
Great for her.
on one of those nights, Saharn, could you have cast continual light on my sword?
Yes, that would have been possible. It's a whole different level spell, and that would have been possible.
Okay.
Jamie will allow that.
I don't mind
All
that.
right.
You have continual light on your sword. I'll add some bright light
Take a
to your
note of it.
token.
As soon as we get to a town, get a nice shiny piece of silvery metal with a cone in it. We'll cast continual light in that. Stick that on a rod. Then you got a flashlight.
All right, you've had a couple days rest now. I think everyone has gotten themselves up to 90% or better of their full health. How would you like to proceed now on day 3, I believe this would be?
Is the music resumed or not?
It is not.
I
Still,
guess we have to presume, I don't know, go carefully up a few levels to see what our
definitely. You feel
friendly
like
neighborhood mage is
sound
about.
echoes more and is more noticeable now, and there is this sort of muted feeling of being underwater too that seems to dampen sound a little bit too. So now without that ringing, your footsteps are more noticeable, your breath is more noticeable, and yeah, you believe that as you're ascending you would want to be a little more careful because you would be it's easier for you to detect things and it's certainly easier for other things to detect you. So
Yeah.
what is the plan?
Should head back to
floating lift.
the floating lift and maybe stop at the hourglass room just to changes there
What
Alright.
floating
on the
lift?
way.
I think it's
Or-
room 14,
the levitation disc, yeah.
Let me move
where the
this.
helmed horrors were.
Oh.
It was like dead center in this area. There was a lift that you discovered.
Oh,
last
that's right. Up to the final level. That's right.
Let me
levitation disc.
move your tokens up to this door just north of the
Do we want to come in that door? I guess is the main question.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought you were saying. Let me know where you want to go in and move yourself
I'd say
to
go
whichever
in
door.
this way. Over here. Yes, no?
I just thought
Did
we might want
we-
to stop by the hourglasses out again.
I'm leery of those things. We don't know what they do, and apparently they could age us. What if one of us suddenly 20 years older?
Yeah, I figured we would just be going to the disc group unless we are searching through the hourglasses.
Okay,
Sounds
let's
like
get a move on then.
Sounds like we have two factions. Who's the party
Where's
leader
Renwick?
in this regard? What do you think you're urging the
this
group
way.
to do? You want to go this way? Do I have Renwick up
Not
here?
right behind you on that.
Wait, get rid of this trapdoor.
All right,
We
so
did, right?
so we're thinking this way then. Okay.
Okay, I'm good with
It
coming.
sounds like the straightest path is the chosen path here, Kurza, which if you want to move yourself back down to where the group is,
Trying, but
you're fine.
I can't quite get there.
If anyone wants to, before you re-enter the room, put yourselves in your marching order. If there's anything different, I can move Renwick up as well and put him wherever you'd like. Okay.
Just
All right. So Griff, you reach the door. You're able to go ahead and open the door again. I think the room here, you can see in the center of it has a glowing aura that seems to rise from some mist in the center of this council room, and it looks as if this was like a formal meeting area where senior leaders were making decisions from the Seychelles. It's adorned in all of that ancient elven, and when you enter the room again, you see the remnants of the helmed horrors that you dispatched of last session. So nothing else really has changed from the last time you stood in here. Yeah, other than that, again, it's still quiet, and I assume you guys are trying to, at this point, be somewhat quiet with your movement. Is
Healthy?
that the case or not?
Healthy?
Okay. All right, so let me just
Um,
make a couple rolls to see how you're doing.
Brandon dropped.
I don't like
so
the idea of the DM is suggesting there might be a need for stealth, as if there is life-threatening.
Oh, I would agree. You never know.
you're
Subtle
in the
hint.
room, so at this point, nothing again has changed. You're standing in the room, Griff. You see this mist, this glowing mist that seems to lead up through like a 5x5 hole in the ceiling, and it seems to race through it into another chamber above.
How high is this hole that's above us?
The ceiling is about 15 feet high, and the hole in the ceiling is about 5 foot wide. So not much larger than a person would fit through anyway. But otherwise, nothing's changed in here.
Look back to Kurza and I ask, how does this thing work? And I point at this thing.
I assume you step on it.
Are you going in the room? Is everyone going into this chamber room?
Yeah, we'll all walk in there. Nod would even suggest, trying to be sneaky, the tallest person, I don't know if it's between Griff or Mithra, to pick them up and see if we could get them high enough to even lift themselves up to peek through. Because I think if we activate this lift, it's going to be a little noisy and the dead silence.
Is
there any activity in 16? Is that door open or closed?
You all left it open from what I have, and there is no activity in there.
Yeah.
Nothing else seems to be stirring. And again, it's very quiet. I think at this point, if you'd all like to make wisdom checks, go ahead and roll wisdom checks, please.
Oh joy. This should be entertaining.
dump stat.
Oh, wow, I actually
Nice.
succeeded.
Did fine.
Novel.
My character sheet's taking a second to load.
No problem. Really, what this is going to make apparent to those who pass is that the mist itself seems to encompass the diameter of the opening. There really wouldn't be a way that you would be able to peek up there without getting yourself into this mist. I think Mithra has no idea what this mist even does and doesn't believe that it levitates you either, despite Kurza's insistence that it does. But yeah, I think that's what you're feeling, is that there wouldn't be any way to see in there without touching or immersing yourself into it. And again, I believe it was Kurza who had detected before that its function seems to be that it would levitate you upward. The other thing, though, that this check is significant for is that those of you who succeeded and would look like Saharn, Kurza, Nod, you hear some faint sounds coming from up through the hole, while the others don't really seem to hear it. They're not sure if it's you making noise or not. The three of you seem like you distinctly heard some sound coming from up above, as if there was some movement from maybe a medium-sized being, possibly, would be your estimation in terms of what you've heard. So there's maybe a little bit of discrepancy there. Renwick also did not hear it, so he's not sure.
Yeah, I would do a little thieves' can't hand motions or whatever and point like up one person. So he knew what was going on as well, and everybody else give him the signal that there is somebody above us.
And Nod, you take a big whiff. You take a huge whiff out of the air and trying to get a sense if there's something up there that's living, and you really don't smell anything. So you're not hitting on anything specifically either.
If we're all quiet and Renwick and Nod can maybe listen, can they identify anything?
We do have...
No, they don't. They don't hear anything different.
So it's just
It was like a moment in time where you heard the
mobility.
sound and everybody stopped. Hey, what is that? And now you no longer hear the sound, even though you're listening for it. Something faint caught your attention, but otherwise, again, it's this mist that seems to just levitate entrance upward. So Renwick will stick his hand into the mist. He seems curious about it, and he's sticking his hand into the mist, and nothing's happening to him. And then he starts putting his arm in, and then he puts his shoulder in, and then he puts his torso in. And suddenly, as he puts his torso in, you see him start to lift up off of the ground and raise upward. And as he's doing that, he's looking up and raises up, and you see the bottom of his feet as he's now seemingly standing on the opening above you.
Can I use the glove of missile snaring to attempt to grab him?
Yeah, you could grab him. You could try to grab him if you'd like. If you want to roll just basically a d20 to try to grab him.
D20.
So yeah, you actually grab his foot successfully. You can stop him from raising and pull him out of it.
Do it.
I'll just cradle him and
make a strength check, and don't roll a 20. It's pretty much all you have to do. And yeah, so you're able to pull him out with no problem as he's raising up. And he seems amused by it, like it's something he's not seen before and he's curious about more than anything. So he seems very naive about it. He tells you that from what he could see, it just looked like an open chamber up above. Like a big high ceiling is all he saw.
And now, these can't... You didn't see anyone?
No.
I guess we'd better just go up there and see what's going on. Because that's the last place we got to be
Nah, it'll
to
just
figure
take
out
us
what's
where
going
to.
on around here.
So have it.
Can we all ascend at once?
You could
that
do
possible?
2 at a time through these openings. It's only 5 foot wide, so it'd be pretty tight. I think Nod might be someone who may have to go up solo. He's a pretty wide guy, but otherwise you could do 2 at a time. So if you guys want to go ahead and pull everyone in and put yourselves in pairs as to who's going to go up together in which order, I'll pull you up to the next map.
Could
Maybe
it could
go.
Rick and I should
theoretically
go.
me and Renwick?
The two heavy
That's a good
hitters
point.
go up
That's a
first.
good point. Renwick could probably fit in there with you, Nod, because
Because I was
he's tiny.
cradling him. I figured I would just walk back in there, still
Yeah.
cradling him. And
No, that's a fair point. Yeah, I think he's tiny or small. But yeah. Okay, so is it Griff and Kurza that are going to be first to go up? Or is that what I'm... or what's the...
I thought Nod and Renwick
Oh,
were
Nod
going
and
up
Renwick, I'm sorry.
first.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
Now I would
Kurza
just step in and
Griff. Okay. All right, let me copy you guys
Sneaks.
over.
And then Griff and I.
Yeah, I'm going to copy you all over to the other map. I guess Gregor will be last. Okay.
Last?
Yeah, he'll be last. Yeah.
All right. Exciting. We get to go to a new map. All right.
oh boy.
As you step into the mist, Nod and Renwick, you guys are back to back, and maybe his back to your leg, actually, but you are able to ascend, and you feel this pull of magical power that's lifting you. I don't know that you would have ever had that sensation before of being levitated, but it's comfortable. You don't feel like you're being ripped or pulled very forcefully. It's gradually pulling you upward, and as you float up and get yourself to the opening, you're both able to make your way through it, and then you end up in a chamber where is a circle of seats around you, and the opening itself, it leads to a floor where there are some stairs that lead up, and there's 4 different sets of stairs that lead up past these seats, and you're all able to make your way up and to this landing where it stops lifting and lets you walk off of it and stand in this open, almost arena type of shape, but seemingly was used for the ancient council, and you believe that this would have been a part of the original function of the tower, include just like the floor below it. A lot of the paperwork that you had found in the procedural manuals and documents that you found pertained to the way they legislated and governed this tower, and this seems consistent with the way that was described. This is an ancient chamber of where it was almost their legislative body that was ruling on the way that the Seychelles were using the tower and contacting Mithnantar. I think when you get to the top here and you're looking up, you can see that it just descends a few feet on the steps, and in the room you can see that there's a hallway to the north and the south, and that there are 4 doors on either side to the east or the west that seem to be evenly spaced around the corridor. This is where, when you arrive at the top, I'm going to have everybody again roll a wisdom check for me.
I'm still in room 14.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't copy you guys over. There we go.
Ah, okay.
Oh my.
Okay.
Better than a 20.
Of you seem to notice this sound that you hear again of what seems to be something moving about, and it seems to be coming from the south, the southern corridor here. Now that you've got your bearings and you're on this same level, you hear that noise of something moving down there that's slightly echoing down the hallway, and As you're
Hey.
standing there, suddenly you all start to get a ringing sound in your ears, and the noise that you'd previously heard returns and now is much louder than what it's been before. It's really strong, really loud in your own ears now, and sounds as if it's emanating from the entire floor around you, surrounding you. So with that, I guess I'm going to have you guys make a savings throw here. 1 second. Save versus spell, please.
Tracker.
Info. Yeah, tracker. Yeah.
It's not a mind thing, is it?
No.
It's
no.
a mind. No,
No.
okay. So
No,
no
good
bonus.
Wow.
Guess I'm deafened
This
or
is-
something.
That is pretty epic. Everybody failed.
Really?
Alright. Okay. So those of you who have failed this check feel a lot of fear rising up from deep within and welling up from deep within your soul, that something nearby is wicked beyond your imagination, and it has you pretty shook. So those of you who have failed will have to continue to roll a savings throw in order. If you'd like to advance, you'll have to roll savings throws to try to advance. Otherwise, your will is going to be to move in the opposite direction of the sound.
Is
believe-
this
I
a
see.
fear effect?
That'd
So
be
we're-
back down the levitator.
What was the question, Brandon?
Is this a fear effect?
Yes.
I do get a bonus to it, but I think I still would have failed my save.
What was your bonus?
+3 to fear
+3?
effect.
Oh,
+3.
okay. Okay. Yeah. Just missed.
I think, wouldn't a fear actually be a mind control effect?
I guess so. I don't know. It's not controlling your mind, but it affects your mind, so possibly.
Thanks.
If you
If
have a
you'll agree
bonus
with
to
that.
that, yeah, I'm fine if you've got some kind of bonus or something, but
I also would have still failed because I rolled a 3.
okay. That's okay.
Maybe we
So-
should go back and check out that that secret door. Get away from the
Oh.
top floor.
Renwick doesn't seem as if he has been affected by it. The rest of you who are standing back now notice that he's walking forward as if he's more curious about it in a naive way, just like he was with the levitation. He's walking towards it, doesn't seem frightened in the least by it. Is anybody trying to stop him from moving forward?
Yeah, I'm going to yell out,
Hold
Renwick,
front.
no,
Okay.
Not
too
safe.
dangerous.
Make a charisma check, Wayne.
No, really, really, get to that. Not too bad. It's a 13. You know how this could go.
Can't be worse than your heels.
I don't think he's
True.
wrong. There you
You're
go.
not wrong.
Okay, so he stops dead in his tracks. Saharn, as you say it, he stops dead in his tracks and looks back, and he sees the expression on all of your faces, and he's in
Yeah,
wonderment
fear.
by the
Fear.
fact that you're scared by the sound and by the noise that's coming. And so he backtracks now, seeing that you're not behind him, and he starts to follow you backwards. So I think the feeling right now amongst the group might be that you don't want to investigate it because of the fear it's instilled in you. You're not compelled to flee, but if you want to advance to go and look at it or anything like that, it will take additional saves to do so. What is the thought process now between the group? What would you like to do? Otherwise, you don't hear any other noise or anything. And again, you've got all these doors in front of you and another corridor north where you're not hearing anything. So
Is
So
it
how
actually
feel the
getting
evil?
closer?
no, the sound has not returned and does not seem as if it's closing on you. What was the other question?
I said, don't you feel the evil, Renwick?
No. What is it? Isn't that
Look
where
at
we need
everyone
to
else.
go?
I can't
I don't
tell you
know.
what it is, friend Wenwick, but I'd rather go this way. Leave this place.
Fine.
And I'm going to start moving towards the other hallway because I'm just scared. I'm not going there.
So be it.
I'll follow the cleric. 'Cause he's smart. He's wise.
So be it. All right.
Yeah, so we go north.
All right. Seeing everyone just was with my little fearful idea, I'm just going to,
Lead the
because
way.
I'm scared. Yeah, because I'm scared, I'm just going to forego having Hank in front of me, and I'm just going to walk down the hallway
All right.
So yeah,
Or-
what point do we roll another saving?
until we, yeah,
At
something
this point,
hits.
you're not gonna roll anything yet until you get to the end of this hallway.
Until we encounter something, which could be that door.
No, so what happens is when you get out to this outside chamber, you again hear this sound now reverberating around this chamber that seemingly encircles this floor again. And interestingly, again, you don't see any doors or anything out here like you did on some of the other floors. So the layout appears as if the only way up here was through that central portal that levitated you upward. But as you reach this outside portion, you can all roll saving throws again versus spell.
Boy.
We got one there. The way I would describe it is, for those of you who pass and those of you who have failed, the same level of fear that you had when you were standing earlier in the center chamber is hitting you now, as if you're in as much danger now where you're standing as you were there. For Nod, you don't feel that at all. You feel like this is a much safer place to be than where you were standing before. That was a very vulnerable spot, but now you feel safer and not as frightened as you did. But the others are all looking as if they're as nervous or more nervous than they were before. So the fear is continuing to drive them towards getting away from where they currently stand. So what would you like to do next?
We make it out to this area?
Yeah, you're all standing in this outer chamber is where your checks would have been made. So as you get out there, again, this is where it's empty, right? You don't see any windows or doors at all like you did on some of the other levels. So it just seems as if it's a hallway that, as far as you can see right now, just encircles the whole floor without any entry points or stairwells.
So the fear is still emanating from this central hallway.
No,
and
no. For you,
From it's stronger.
it's just as strong
You
here.
want to go back.
You're in
back
as
to the
much
middle,
danger
but-
here as you were there.
But you said for me that this hallway felt safer.
Yeah, you feel safer here, Nod. than
Okay,
you
so
did
I will
back
take
here.
this opportunity because I believe, further back before anybody tried to rain pass. I would try to intimidate that I am scarier than that sound is.
Oh, I love it. Go ahead. Let's intimidate the party. Okay, so for the rest of the party,
Oh, you're going to try to rally us?
he is
That's
trying
a good
to
idea.
intimidate you and make himself
Is it
something more
gaming us
frightening
into-
than
Yeah.
your current fear. So I think you could try to do. Let's see, how would we want to do this? Because this is more like your willpower
I mean,
than anything.
I'll roll it up for each person if you would like.
Yeah, let's do that. I like that. I think that's a good way to do
Okay.
it. We'll see how
All
your
right.
effect is on each person.
So,
Do it.
Although the only way you can
close, 1,
fail is
2,
with a
3
20,
more.
so you're pretty much going to have. There you go. You got somebody to. There's no 20s here, so everybody takes note of what does Nod do to intimidate the party.
This might be one of the few times he would actually step out of the shadows and give you a real visual on how big and scary he actually is.
Oh, right on.
Maybe he stands up straight for the first time. He's always had this kind of kink in his back, and he suddenly stands up straight, and you all see that he's towering 7 foot something, and just a large creature, like very large, that seemingly normally blends into the shadow, and you never get a sense of his size, and now he's flexing it towards you to let you know that he means business and that you need to follow his lead. So what do you lead them towards, Nod?
I will keep them on this outer ring, and we will go counterclockwise.
All right.
This way.
Gotcha. All right. So let's see. Yeah, Nod. Let me have you and everyone else move yourselves. If you Nod, you could put yourself here where I'm pinging, and then everyone else just line up behind Nod in the order you would.
And on
Up
this
in
way,
square.
I would be looking for traps. Just keeping my eye out,
Got it.
not specifically spending too much time on any one.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, and you're not seeing anything yet, but
No
you
doors.
you do detect some
Curious.
noise, and both you and Renwick would both be insistent that there's some noise coming from ahead. The others, again, I think who are frightened are not really able to sense it, but as you're just listening really closely and moving fairly stealthily here and hiding in the shadows, you suddenly all hear a voice that emanates from the hallway ahead of you. And the voice says to you, it says, "You trespass upon sacred ground, fools. You dare to challenge the will of my master. Prepare yourselves for a fate darker than death itself." And as you hear that nod, you look ahead of you in the chamber, and you're able to see something emerge that I'll move you guys over to take a look at. You see a large figure standing in the corridor ahead of you who is wearing full plate mail with the emblazoned with the symbol of Seychelles on the front of it, and his eyes glow orange. And he stares you down, walking slowly in your direction. We'll go ahead and have everybody roll initiative, and before we jump into this, we'll take a quick break, because I need a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll get into combat here and see what's going to happen. So if you guys want to roll initiative while we're regrouping, we'll be back in 5 minutes or so. So, sound good?
All praise Seychelles. Yeah, there we go.
Forgot where initiative is. Weapons.
Yeah.
You'll find it, but we'll pick up right here when we get back. All right.
See ya.
Oh, we don't have tokens. That's so I can't.
Anyone back yet?
Still here.
Yeah, I'm back.
I was gonna have a couple of you do non-proficiency or non-weapon proficiency checks. I think Kurza, you have ancient history.
Yes.
If you can do an ancient history, and then Mithra has etiquette. I think etiquette check would be applicable here. And then for Nod has danger sense. So I think if you could make that check, we'll try to figure out. All right. So
Okay.
I think the only other thing here would be okay. So we'll jump back in. The creature, the figure that has appeared now in the hallway before you, as I said, is emblazoned with this crest of Seychelles. It again has uttered this threat to you, and as it approaches, that it draws its sword and it waits for you to draw your weapons. It does not seem to want to attack you until you've drawn your weapon, as if it has some type of code of engagement that it's waiting for, and it doesn't want to ambush you. It's like waiting for you to challenge it, right? And it lifts its sword only when it sees that you've lifted your swords. But again, doesn't seem as if it's backing down. It's just an interesting thing that you're noticing, very likely piecing together between the three of you, that this seems to be an ancient spirit that has somehow been cursed or corrupted to now guard and protect this area. And so it's falling back on its own etiquette and its own ways of engaging as it's lining you up and almost waiting for you to be ready before it feels comfortable engaging you in attack. With that, I think, again, it's still raising its sword and it's still very much looking ominous to you. So it's not looking friendly, but it's just an interesting quirk about it that I think makes you feel like it's a little different than a truly chaotic evil creature would be. But at the same time, go ahead and everyone roll initiative if you haven't already. I'm going to add.
I don't have a way to. I can roll a number, but I can't get the initiative tracker because I don't have a thing to click on.
I'll move you guys back to the map, and we'll use the map for this.
I got a 3.
So you should be able to click on it now, Chris, hopefully.
Okay.
That took away mine.
Yours
It
went in.
erased the roll.
Yeah, yours went in. Nods
Put
went
me
in.
I rolled it.
I can add yours in.
You want me to re-roll?
It looked like it picked yours up. Looked like it was in there. I see, or you don't
It was
see it.
before, but
Right, we're no longer in there.
Who's not in there? Nobody is in there?
I just
Sahar
see
is
me,
not.
Nod, and
I'll redo it.
Do you see Kurza?
I
I'm
see
in there.
Kurza.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, it looks like the ones that were.
What was the detail that we needed to sure of to get when we roll for it to show up in there? Forget. Was it click our token? Was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to click on our token.
Yeah. Make sure your token's highlighted. Yeah, that's what it is. All right. So we are now.
I don't see a token.
Yeah, he's going to be right here. Hang on a second. I got to drop him.
Yeah, we need the bad guy in Renwick.
He's up there. He's in the back. He's behind
Oh,
Kurza.
boy.
All right. This is your target now.
I think we should probably negotiate with him.
The symbol he's wearing, then, I agree with negotiation. This is an ancient elven deity.
The symbol is the wearer is a.
Yeah.
Looks as if it is a horrifyingly corrupted paladin.
Yeah,
Basically.
he did just threaten us.
And he just, what I think is interesting about it is that
Verbally.
despite its ominous look, it seems to operate by some type of code of honor. Meaning that it doesn't just, because it first sees you, it doesn't try to get any advantage on you. It is more or less giving you an opportunity to draw your weapons and prepare for battle. And so it's certainly looks intent on engaging you in battle. But it's just interesting that unlike other things that have leapt at you and tried to take a shot at you before you were ready, this thing seems to wait and give you a moment to prepare for battle. So seems like a potentially something that was corrupted or otherwise tainted by Varodis to work for him, and at this point it's no longer a person that seems to have much reason in there. It seems to be a programmed warrior. So
Is it more of a helmed horror, or is it or
No.
is there an actual being in there?
no, it seems as if it's a being. It's like this sort of skeletal figure now that occupies the armor. So as you take a closer look, and it's hard to see because it's wearing full plate mail, but it seems as if it's not flesh, it's just bone. So definitely it gives you the chills. It's giving you all kinds of reasons to get away from it, but it's at this point not giving you much choice because it's going to advance. But Mithra, you get
It's
to
like
act
a lord,
first.
like a Lord Soth, Death Knight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Relay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mithra is impulsive and fighting in the arena. If there's a hesitation, she's gonna take it. So I'm just gonna charge in and try and pin his blade.
Oh,
Awesome. All right.
do it.
That's a called shot at -4.
-4. Yeah. That is a hit.
And it's strength check.
Let's see. This is
Contest.
yeah, strength. Mm-hmm.
We tie, we roll. I got.
All right, go ahead. I think I should be able to roll this one. Okay, so yeah, you beat it on the strength check as well. Tell us what you're trying to do here.
Yeah, I'm gonna come in like I'm gonna hit him low and then swing high and try and 'cause he has blade is drawn, right?
Yeah, he's got his
Wait,
blade
what is it
drawn.
right for?
As he approached you, he drew his blade and is now standing in front of you with his blade drawn. So you're able to pin it and get it into a
Up
position.
against the
Where he
up
can't
against the
swing it
wall,
well.
or
Okay.
I
Yeah.
say yield now and let us pass.
Let's have a charisma check for the hell of it, just to see how that gets, what his reaction is or its reaction is. But it again, I think as you engage it, even as you're pushing on it, it feels chilling to be that close to it. It's got a different aura about it than anything you've fought up to this point. And I think as you give it this command, it's, let me go ahead and see how it reacts here.
Yeah, she's like wincing at the coldness, death. Really hates on.
You state this to it freely, and it for a moment just glares directly back at you in the eyes, and as it's looking at you, it says, "You are no threat to me." And it begins to try to push back on you, but before it can do that, Griff gets to act.
Can I attack past the Mithra?
Yeah, you can slide her a little bit. You guys can be side by side. You can fit too wide in here.
I'm gonna yell at it in elven, and we mean you no harm.
I think the immediate response would be, the harm has already been done. It doesn't seem to be
Can I still?
standing down to you, so
It's okay.
you can
Can I still
attempt.
attack?
Yeah, definitely. That's a hit. This thing is not easy to hit, and you guys are hitting it, so that's good. Good start.
We used all our bad rolls earlier.
All right, 8 damage. Yeah, you did.
It's mine. Oh, jeez.
Short Sword of Wonder.
That one misses, unfortunately.
That's it for me.
All right, for Griff and Mithra, both of you roll save versus spells, please.
Oh, can I use a astonishing fortune?
You probably don't want to use that here yet. Let me tell you what's going to happen first
Okay.
before you do.
I'm trying.
No
What's
problem,
going
Tim.
on?
I just don't want to lose the pin because it was a lucky.
Yeah, I hear you. What it is that you both feel being this close to it, an overwhelming amount of fear to the point that you would need to step away from it. So if you want to try to maintain your pin of it, you would need to use an astonishing fortune here. Otherwise, you're going to retreat. You don't want to be standing in the square adjacent to it.
This will keep one round of attacks, one attack if he only has one, or one of his attacks. So I'm gonna use.
Okay.
Everyone is okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with it, but what's your save
It's 14. She's got to roll a 14 or better to get it.
for it?
Oh,
Okay. Critical failure means that you're actually going to need to run away from it fast. So your max movement here, basically, you've already attacked, so you can only move half your movement anyway. But you would essentially start running backwards here. And I'll just have you move back to in front of Saharn at least for now. And you all see this look in Mithra's face as if she's seen a ghost, and you get it because you've heard one. The creature is now up, and that's really just an effect of being in its radius. And so
you can't kill the dead. Run!
Can as she's running by me again, can I attempt to intimidate her again? Same thing. I told you once.
You can do that here on your turn in a second. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
It's your round, yeah.
But the first thing is you see Curza, do you have spellcasting? Not spellcasting,
Yes.
but spellcraft or something, right?
Yeah.
If you would do a check on spellcraft, you see the creature seemingly cast something, and behind you, Curza, you feel this chilling feeling, and as you turn around and you notice behind you, between yourself and Renwick, there is a formation that begins to appear, and it appears as if there is a wall of ice that suddenly emerges from the ground and takes over this section and separates you from Renwick and Gregor, so that you're all now contained to this section. Nod, you can go ahead and try now to intimidate if you'd like to keep a Mithra, snap her out of it maybe.
Oh,
Fortunately, the one
even
number
more
you couldn't
scared.
roll, it does not seem to affect her. She seems to be still absolutely fearful of it, and having been that close to it, again, wanting to get as far of it from it as possible. So unfortunately that doesn't work, but you can still move and strike if you'd like.
Grab her and throw her towards it.
We're all gonna die.
Griff, you also would have been forced to move back because you had failed your check. So I'm moving you back. Just back to the crowd, basically. All right, Nod, you can take a shot if you'd. Wow, great roll.
yes.
That is a
Nice.
critical hit.
Beautiful.
That's a 20. If you'd like to go ahead and roll on the crit table, that's definitely a hit. Man, you guys have rolled pretty good on your attack rolls. You haven't had that many. Oh!
Yeah.
Triple damage.
Wow.
Head wound. All right.
The victim is killed
Is
instantly.
killed instantly.
It
Wait,
has armor. If it
It
doesn't,
says
that's if it
armor,
doesn't have
yeah.
armor. So he still needs to roll damage. You still need to roll. Yeah. Wow.
Oh, crap for that.
Nod,
Man,
Nod,
30.
what did
Awesome.
you just do, Nod, to this thing? What was your intent?
That's on fire.
You there, Brandon?
Sorry, yes, I was muted. I'm going to take his long sword, and he's essentially going to stand up with all his might and come down and essentially come down to his head with it.
Okay, so when you do that, you see this thing's helmet shatter. You basically broke its helmet, and the helmet goes flying in different directions. And when it does that, it reveals underneath a blackened skull covered with shards of shriveled, rotting flesh. And these two little tiny orangish red pinpoint eyes that are glaring at you now, that are exposed from you smashing its helmet and giving it this critical hit. It is still standing, however, that has done a significant amount of damage to it, and you've now shattered its helmet. So, Kurza, you are up next.
Let's see.
Sorry, real quick. Nod, make a save for spell, please.
If it is fear, I do get a little
Go ahead.
bonus.
Yeah, you can add that bonus. This is for fear.
I will do 3. Maybe. There we go.
Okay, so you'll also need to retreat to get away from it, so you can move back like as far as Saharn there.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I did my job.
Yeah. All right.
Good
Kurza,
luck.
go ahead.
Let's see. I'll admonish it like, why do you act against the interests of your own god? The symbol that you wear, Seychelles.
Roll charisma check.
What language?
Yeah, and what language are you
Elven.
saying that in? Yeah. Okay.
Elven.
Okay.
Being an elf, I'll admonish him of the same thing. So let's see. What am I looking for here? Oh, yes. A charisma check. That should be challenging. Come on. There we go.
All right.
Wow, I made it.
Yeah, so it would respond to you. I think that's what your charisma check will get you, as a response. That, and so it will lock eyes with you, Kurza, through the crowd here, because you're towards the back, and it will almost lean and make eye contact with you as you've asked it this question, and it will say, "That was long ago."
So you've turned to evil then. Abandoned your honor.
This is my order.
You serve evil now.
I don't think he would deny it. I think at this point, yeah, he would say, "Indeed."
Oh, okay. Fireball.
okay.
Go for it.
Okay, since negotiation is not going to work, fireball. Let's see here. I need 5 dice.
Be far enough away?
I'll make sure 20 foot is just shy of Griff.
Let's see. Can you roll a percentile, Chris?
Sure.
Okay.
Because if there's 2 people wide, this hallway has to be at least 10 foot wide.
So, the fireball that you've cast
Should probably be right about here, and 20 foot would get it to just shy of Griff then.
Do you have line of sight that far?
Yeah,
Yeah, he can see to behind it.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
from
I
you can
beautiful.
actually
moved,
see
but
all the way down here. Yeah. So yeah, you're able to center it back there, Kurza. Go ahead and do a spellcraft check again, please.
yeah, is it gonna do any damage? Let's see. Because what did it cast, by the way? Since I made that other spell cast.
It had cast Wall of Ice behind you.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. This time though, so what you notice is your flame and your fireball erupt and ripple through the hallway just like you expected, exactly where you wanted it, exactly encompassing him, and you notice that it has no effect on it, and you suspect that it has some type of magical resistance.
That's fine. So do I.
Fair
Oh,
enough. Fair enough.
that
Alright.
totally changed
Yeah,
my
there
plan.
So that brings us up next to Saharn.
I think out of fear and realizing that this thing can probably psychologically toss us around, making us run away, and I just saw it immune to the fire, I'm just going to begin chanting a chant, which actually takes 2 rounds to cast, but
Tread water.
Okay.
it's going to hit the whole party. Well, so we'll basically have a bless spell going on forever, as long as I continue chanting. I'm going to pray for us. That's my response.
All right. All right. So you're starting to your chant, and it would flip over then to the beginning of the next round. I think if you've got any changes you need to do with your initiative turn order on what you're doing, go ahead and make those. I think otherwise, Amithra, you'll be first.
Do I get another
Hmm.
save or?
You're no longer afraid after fleeing it last round. It's no longer affecting you, so you can go towards it again.
Okay, yeah, I look at the wall of ice and I see there's no. So, my turn. Hey, do I have enough space to charge it? Get around Griff?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can still pop right around Griff. What are you using to? Or are you just doing a charge?
I'm just gonna do a charge with this sword. So
So I think.
although that does affect my initiative, I think
Yeah,
by
that's what I was thinking. If you just want to modify it, just modify your turn with your weapon speed. You're using what? The Drusus or something else?
I'm using the magics. I've been using the magic sword because it reduces the speed factor by 1 because
Yeah. So what's your speed factor on that one then? With the
it's 2.
2. Okay.
And I roll the 1. But if you want me to re-roll, I can.
No, you
There's
don't.
the
No, you
charge.
don't have to re-roll. We'll keep the same, but I'm just adjusting it for the to add the weapon speed. So you're still first. You can go ahead and move in and try to attack.
Does this thing regenerate? Get another plan, right?
So the charge gives me a +2 attack, and then I'll suffer a minus.
Okay. It doesn't seem, Griff, as if it's regenerated or anything noticeably to you. Fortunately, that would be a miss.
But this is, unless you count that I disengaged because I was afraid, this will be round 2. I should get an attack at that. Up to you.
You mean you get a second attack?
Yeah, the 3 attacks
Yeah,
every
3,
2
2.
rounds with
Yeah.
the short sword.
Yeah, go ahead. You can. Yeah, you can definitely do that.
I can wait until everyone else goes, or
Yeah, that's
do it
fine.
now.
I don't. I think you do it now.
Okay, yeah, and then one doesn't have the bonus up.
Fortunately,
Yeah.
you're not able to, but go ahead and roll now a save or spell. Okay, so once again, it has repelled you. It has you so scared that you don't want to stay that close to it for longer than you have to. So you pop in, hit it, or try to hit it, but you get a couple of misses and you run out of there so that you're out of its range. So Griff, you can go ahead next. Oh, you might be muted, Tim.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and attack.
Okay. Charging in, swinging 2 swords at it.
Oh man.
Ugh, getting cold here.
No.
A 2. Oh, there you go. Do you have any other pluses on that? Does that include the +2?
Yep.
That is a
Does the chant
miss.
from Saharn add anything?
It doesn't even take effect yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I have to go through it another 2 rounds to cast. So
Yeah, unfortunately, you just missed with that.
Oh,
Not an easy thing to hit. Go ahead and roll your save so you can stay engaged with it. You don't feel that overwhelming sense of fear again this time. All right, it is up. And I think Griff.
Of course, I'm standing right next to it now.
you got this. You got this.
I would have run away.
dodge and weave, dodge and weave.
Let's see.
AC 4.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, let's see, I'm just trying to decide what it's gonna do here. Oh god, okay. Let's see what this would be.
What the hell?
Okay, so let's see, where is it?
What did you just do?
He's got like
no,
double fireballs,
I'm sorry,
one out
I'm
of finger guns.
trying to get his sheet set up here. 1 second. Is it working? Sorry to scare you here. Not really.
All I
sorry.
saw was finger gun fireballs right there.
Okay, yeah, actually what it does here is I was just trying to make sure its sheet was working, but it looks as if it is going to attack towards Griff at this point. So what's your AC, Griff? 4. 1 second. Here we go. Okay, it hits. It rolled a 19 to hit, and it will do. Oh man, you might have got lucky on that. It does 7 damage to you, Griff, with its sword. The least amount it can do. You feel this dark blade strike you and take a little life force out of you, but really not what you were expecting as far as force. Doesn't seem to do as much damage as it could. Other than that, it will go ahead and just continue to stay engaged with you, Griff. Nod, you're up next.
Nod's going to step up closer, not all the way up, so he's not in the range. And he is going to just take one of his hammers off and give it a good old throw at this thing.
Ugh.
Wow.
That's all I'll be doing.
Oh, okay. All right, Cursa, you're up next.
Can I see Renwick through the ice?
Yes, you see him on the other side of the ice, seemingly trying to chip away at it with a dagger. Gregor is standing behind him.
I give him a circular.
Okay, motion to go around.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Good thinking.
I think at that point we'll just do a simple magic missiles that'll whip around Saharn and Mithra and Nod and finally Griff and just hit the knight on 3 different sides and pop him in the head too. Where's my advanced? There we go. 11 points of force damage.
Got it.
Any damage whatsoever?
Roll a spellcraft check.
Sure, I think.
Actually, roll a percentile, please.
Percentile.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it does any damage as to what you were expecting. It seems as if it's not affected by it.
Totally ineffective or just not as much as I thought?
Totally ineffective.
Totally ineffective. Oh, okay. Alrighty then.
But with that, Renwick start to run off away from you, and looks like he's running around the outside of the tower to try to get a better position. So he starts running all the way around, and we're back to Saharn, who is chanting.
Yes. I'm going to move a little forward. Continue my prayers of chant against this thing that has forsaken its God, its belief.
All right. And does the other effect of your chant then go off? Is there another effect for the group?
It's 2 rounds to cast, so if you want to count
Okay,
first
so
round as round 1, this
yeah,
is round 2.
after this turn would be the second round. So starting with Mithra's turn next, it would benefit her.
+1 all attacks, all saving throws, -1, +1 to damage,
Nice.
-1 for the same for the enemy. There we go.
All right, you feel this boost of energy, Mithra. It's back to your turn.
All right, by that, I'm gonna back into the fray. That was a +1 to attack. Sorry. Wait, what kind of weapon does he have? It's a longsword or a two-handed sword?
He's got a two-handed sword.
Okay.
Unfortunately it's got an AC though of 0.
So close, but
You
not
guys
really.
have done some.
Okay.
You guys came out of the gate and really hit it pretty good. But yeah, now you're yep. So yep, you can go ahead and save for spell to see if you can
Get a
stay next
+1.
to it.
But I still.
Oh, there you go. You pass. The +1 would do it. Or did you already have the +1 in there?
I did add it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I see. So yeah, you'll need to step back. You can go back again as far as halfway. You just don't feel comfortable standing that close to it. So, Griff, you're up next. Wow, there is a hit.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, you feel as if your strike rings true and does some damage to it. However, the short sword does not quite connect. All right.
You guys want me to use Astonishing Fortune here?
Yeah, it's 8:40.
What? Yeah, we've got 20 minutes, so we're not that hurt, but yeah, do it.
Yeah. Might as
Might as
well.
well.
We only have 20 minutes. Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
Perfect.
Might have been worth it. Great hit.
Definitely worth.
Wow. Okay, so yeah, you strike it again. This thing looks like it is hanging on to dear life at this point.
Death.
Or death. Yeah. Go ahead and roll a saving throw versus spell, Griff.
Right.
Great hit.
Didn't add any pluses on that.
Okay. So unfortunately you'll need to run back from it. So you can go ahead and move yourself back a little bit. And it is back to the Death Knight. You see the Death Knight at this point looks pretty very haggard, and it lifts its sword up into the air above its head with two hands, and within it you suddenly see almost like a replay of Kurza's fireball, and the fireball emits again, this time though from the knight itself. And
Oh boy.
Kurza,
Whoa.
you need to roll. You're going to be the one that was rolling damage. This knight has been able to harness your spell and reflect it back at the party. Everybody else is going to you're basically being attacked by Kurza's fireball in terms of what the damage will be and your save here. You can, I think it's a save or spell for half damage, Kurza, and you can you can roll the damage here, and everyone else can roll your save or spell because it's centering it on all of you.
Beautiful.
Did that have your +1 in there? Okay, it did.
Wait,
Yeah, how did
actually,
Just
I get a +1 from the ring too. I get the
That's
+1
right. That's
and
right.
the bless. So
That's
I
right.
think I made it. Maybe.
You made it. You made it.
Yay!
And any dex bonus,
Nod
I
made
guess?
it.
No dex.
No.
No dex?
It should already be whatever your flat spell. It's hard to escape in the hallway too, but okay. All right. So for anyone that's failed, you are going to take 19 points of fire damage. And
Oh,
I just believe I have a ring of fire resistance.
okay. So your
So
fire resistance.
You have one too? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you guys both have one. So it should have given you. It basically would have the damage anyway from failing, Chris. So you're gonna take half damage, and for anyone else who failed, you're gonna take full damage, 19 points total. If you passed, you're gonna take half that, which is rounded up, so it's 10 points to anyone who succeeded.
if
10
you
points.
Yeah, 10 points for Amithra and Nod, and then everyone else, I think, as far as I know, took 19.
that hurt.
All right, that is it for this thing. It takes a step forward as it does
we can't just replay the 15 points of damage I tried to do on it.
Nod, you're the closest to it as well, and it looks like it's barely hanging on here. By the way,
that also breaks my chant. That
And
damage,
shit.
yeah, will break the chant. So no more. Unfortunately.
Oh, that's actually the Madar, so it's a +1.
Gonna be.
Or should be the Madar.
Oh no, you don't have a +1 anymore. It's a hard.
No, I don't think I do. But we do have Astonishing Fortunes 3 left. I think I have to roll
you need a 15 or better. You need a 15 or better on your roll.
Oh man.
There you go.
Yes!
That's what it's about.
Come on.
17.
Big damage.
Take it down, please.
It is on the verge.
If it does any more of that.
Oh, my THAC is different on that one. I see. That should be 19. Sorry.
Roll. Believe it or not, that is enough. Nod,
Yes.
tell us how the finishing blow is to this Death Knight.
Seeing that I've already knocked his helmet off, I'm going to go for
Yeah.
his head once again and either try to go for a clean cleave or sweep off of his neck and
Absolutely.
separate the two.
Yeah,
Smash his brains.
this blackened skull just completely separates from its body as you cleave it, and it lands on the floor by your feet and slumps over into a heap of plate mail at this point, and it is now lifeless. Nice job. Nice job.
Awesome.
Great,
Yeah.
great use of astonishing fortunes there. A couple of them. You guys risked it, and both did well. That was cool. So yeah, you're out of rounds here. It's the ice wall dissipates
Yeah.
as it flitters away. I think it might be a few moments later that you might notice Gregor and Renwick approaching from the other side of this thing, and and coming upon you all as you're standing over its remnants
We
here.
are slightly smoking.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see because now we know there's nothing else wandering around the perimeter because they
Right.
didn't run into
They
it,
didn't
right?
run into anything as they roamed the whole. Gregor went the whole way around. Renwick took the inside lane, and neither one of them encountered anything.
Oh,
Nice of you to show up.
Nice of you to take care of this. You look a little
Well-
abashed.
Oh yeah, I told you there were scarier things than that music here.
I see.
Do we still hear the music?
Damn fireballs.
No?
You do still hear the sound. Yes, you do. Yeah.
the Harn would like to tend to his wounds, and I think might need a heal. At least
Yeah,
you're
I'm
down
to
a hole.
13. I don't know what Curza. I lost Curza's red bar too. I don't know what you're down to.
7.
Oh man. I don't
Oh
know
my
why it's doing
goodness.
that.
I have
10 hit points, so I'm down to 7 now.
6
There we go.
left myself. So, and this is early in the day. In our day, I know we're about to end session, but we're still gonna have a long way to go before we rest again. I think I'm gonna be down to 1 heal spell, real quick. So I'm using one on me, and I'll use one on each of you two. Anybody else critical right now? Versus myself. Where did that go?
There it
Oh.
is.
Jeez.
That's not
Beautiful.
hard.
On.
Why is-
Roll 20 does not like me. So I still have
Oh.
18 points of damage.
Wait till next week before healing us.
We still have
Oh.
astonishing. We still, yeah.
Oh, that's true.
We
We'll
end
probably-
in 10 minutes anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
And-
right. I'll
Okay.
recast on myself then once. And hopefully my X dice will go. Okay. All right.
Why not? Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Still 16 points of damage though. We'll deal with that. We're good.
Okay.
All right. Riff,
All right.
there you go.
Hey.
We got one
all
off.
right.
Beautiful.
All right. And who else needed it? Kurza?
Yeah. Take 3.
You'll take
That gives
3?
me to double digits, yeah.
Still got 1 fortune left.
Double digits are always good.
Oh,
What about Nod? How are you?
I'm at 12. Don't specific numbers, but about half.
Okay.
A little less than half.
21 out of 39.
I mean, I still have a
Mithra, where are
full-
you?
I've got a full healing potion, so Saharn and somebody else needs to start drinking
I have
that.
I have 2 shots out of a healing potion.
All right, there you go. I got 1 left then. 1 shot out of that healing potion.
technically I just blew 2 spells, right?
No,
No,
I have
3.
a healing potion with 2 drops
Okay.
healed
All right.
on it.
Yep.
So I'm holding that in reserve.
I have a potion of minor healing that I bought at the Tamora Temple. That just 1 go, Jamie?
The potion that you bought in Pro Camper? Is that what you're
Yes, at the time.
Yeah, those are three. They're 3 droughts.
Okay. Yeah, so then I've got a full minor, but that one's minor, so it's not a D8.
The minors are D8. They're 3.
Oh,
like,
okay.
3
Yeah, then
D8.
I've got a full one.
I have a full one too, so
Anyone wants
who's
a
still
sip?
down? Nods, Saharn.
So we're down to 2 full healing potions and 1 partial that Griff has. Is that the case?
I have 2 droughts.
2 drought.
Droughts.
Yeah, 2/3
Yeah.
of a. Okay. Yeah, you guys could do whatever you'd like to do there. As far as that's concerned, is there anyone interested in the armor and sword from this knight? That is pretty much all you're able to find as Renwick is rifling through its pile of remnants and pretty much just turns into being a sword and armor at the end of the day here. So there's that.
What, he's got what, full plate on or
Yeah,
something like
he's
that?
got full plate mail and a 2-handed sword that seems to be of fairly high quality as well. I don't know if anyone even uses 2-handed weapons, but
Nope.
No.
okay.
If it's magical, we could take it, but does he
Yeah,
have any
is it-
rings on or anything like that? Anything other than
You're
Then the
detecting magic then? I
plate
take
mail.
it. If you're gonna detect
Uh,
magic, the sword is
Yeah, we might as well.
magical.
Okay. So we have a magic 2-handed sword.
The armor.
Probably
That's worth
bigger.
taking.
Sorry, the armor is also magical. You have a magical plate mail and a magical 2-handed sword that you've found here.
Anything else?
Nothing else. Nothing else at all.
That's probably it. There we go. Who wants the plate mail and who wants the sword?
Not interested.
Plate mail is probably a bit plate with
cumbersome.
armor class 0. That's pretty, yeah, cumbersome, but also quite effectively protective.
Yeah,
And
in a pinch I could wear it, but he doesn't really like to wear heavy armor.
Yeah, Nod's not really interested in it. He would carry it for you, but
I would say let's carry the sword just because of its value.
oh, we should bring both. They'll both sell for a
Yeah.
lot. I'll carry it if you don't want it.
I'll delete the icon here for the Death Knight since you've picked up its pieces. I assume
I
someone's
will.
carrying it. Okay.
Stick it in my inventory. The
What do you
full
guys
plate
want
mail.
to do? Head back to the center?
Yeah.
Go ahead. You can move your souls back
Yeah.
in there. And at this point, you've got this, again, this humming sound is still emanating throughout. And you've got these 8 doors that are visible from the center chamber that you can see.
So our buddies that walked around, let's ask them with the humming sound. Was it coming down this hallway? Is that where we first perceived it, or is it only out on this rim? Did they hear it all the way around?
Yeah, they hear it all the way around. It's almost like the same volume over here as it was where they walked. They didn't see where the source was.
I guess we pick a door and end it here.
Yeah, we can
Yeah, I guess
absolutely
so.
do that. If you guys want to take a peek at anything or do anything else in this central chamber, we can kind of park it there after you make that decision. I think you still have 1 astonishing fortune left. There's always that. Thoughts? You may not be feeling full. You may not be feeling great about your health situations, but
No,
Yeah,
I'm
good to leave it here.
okay.
I'm still only at 9 hit points. So I'm scared.
What would the party be thinking then at this point? Is retreating down to the first level again, or just taking a moment here to decide what your next step is?
We could plausibly
say
retreat, but we're limited on food, so it's...
Yeah.
Forge on.
Yeah, probably forge on and open the doors.
It's not standing in the front.
Yes,
Darn
you are,
it.
because you're our door guy, Nod.
Eeny,
You are
meeny, miny,
standing.
mo. Which door will it be?
I
I'm
give
just gonna
Saharn
start trying to
and
get Renwick.
Saharn and Nod a dose of the minor healing potion. I'm just leaving one.
Okay. Do you want to do D8 for those? So she's got 1 drought left. Griff has 2. Kurza's got 3.
I got
Is that
3.
right? Okay. There you
Yeah.
go. That's a good roll. There you go. That was helpful.
I think I get the 5. You get listed me first.
Yeah, that's the order that I
Yep.
would do it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Any last thoughts here about what
Thank
you would
you.
want to do from this spot?
Like I said, I'm okay to open a door.
I say that one.
How about everybody? Yeah. Are you thinking that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Let me pull up.
I don't want to poop on the party, but we got 2 minutes left.
Yeah, I'll give you a quick description here of what, and we'll leave you in this spot. The room as it opens appears to be some type of vault, and as you open it and look around the room, and again, the door was not locked or trapped, but so you were able to detect that it wasn't. And when you opened it, you can see several different artifacts and weapons and armor strewn about the room, almost as if they're on display. And in the center of the room sits a pedestal with a glowing crown sitting upon it.
Oh, beautiful.
So
Who's brave?
beyond the crown, you see again a couple of different pieces of armor that look like they've been forged in similar ways to the one that the Death Knight was wearing. Certainly more of an ancient craftsmanship here, and ancient items that you're looking at. The crown itself, again, though, would be the most notable thing in the room. Let's see, if you guys enter the room, as you get within a certain radius of the crown, it starts to you start to hear voices in your ears, like whispering voices, and telling you to come closer.
Looks
And
like a
do I
ninja
feel
warrior course.
compelled? I don't want it to be that though.
It's
Ooh,
so,
what's this?
so far you don't feel compelled, but you hear these whispering voices in your ears just saying, "Come closer."
Where is it in this room?
It's in this center pedestal here.
Oh, that one. Okay.
On the other
So I
side,
was looking at something way out here.
no, it's in the center of the whole area. Yeah, as you get closer to it and you're looking at it, it starts to really glow and shine to you. It almost feels as if it's emitting light, but yet you don't see it. It's not glowing, but you just feel this energy coming from it, this brilliance. And I think for anyone who's standing next to it, you could roll a saver spell.
I'll take that chance. I don't know what this is going to do to me, but it's going to be interesting. Is it a mind effect or no?
Yeah, it is.
Add my wisdom bonus.
Okay.
It's 3, and there we go.
All right. So for Amithra and Saharn, I know you guys were right there, and Kurza too. So it just would be Amithra that you feel this compelling energy that's telling you to pick up the crown. Saharn and Kurza, you don't feel that tug at your will to pick up the crown, but Amithra certainly feels it. And if as Nod, you
Oh,
get
she
closer, you
stretches
feel
her
it
hand out. I'll slap her hand.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna put that on my head. Won't
It
I
would
look
fit-
great in that
it would
crown?
fit beautifully. It would just fit you and look
Yeah,
perfect.
No! As
So
she watches, I watch her do this.
so that's where we'll leave it, is with Amithra reaching for the crown while the others maybe potentially try to caution her from doing that.
Slap her hand away.
And we'll leave you guys,
Yeah.
if you want to position yourselves where you're leaving off here, we'll pick up there next session with her, and we'll get into that. So,
We're moving forward to stop her.
got it. Yeah, we'll move everybody in there. Gregor too.
Everything in this place, is, from my point of view, has been rather evil. I don't
Yep.
want to see her put this crown on. I don't. I'm afraid of what
No.
may happen.
We'll have another death night.
Understandable. Understandable. So you used all your fortune. You defeated a Death Knight, which I've got to say is, I think, quite a bit above the most difficult thing you've ever fought. It has a 75% magical resistance. So
Wow.
it's very difficult to hit with spells. It pretty much boiled down to hitting armor class 0 or better. So you guys did a great job against it, and even despite the fact that it was able to harness and throw the fireball back at you, nobody fell. So that was impressive. And again,
I was
it's
glad.
quite a bit of XP compared to some of the other things you've fought as well. So it's pretty deadly. And it was trying to split the party with the ice wall, which just didn't end up working out for it, but because you were hitting too well at the beginning. So you really got it down pretty low right out of the gate, and then from there it just started getting desperate and firing off all its big feats and things. So
Yeah,
nicely done.
if Nod hadn't taken it down, I was going to reflect the magic missile, and that would have possibly.
Who's Nod?
I was glad that Kurza didn't fire another big spell at it, because if it would have done that, harnessed and fired back at us a second time, we would have been serious trouble.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
think
once
half
you
of what-
figure out it's not doing any, I was thinking, no, time to start throwing holy water at it.
Ah,
Yeah, unfortunately it can't be turned either. It's not affected by, it's not like a regular undead. It really is a wicked
Yeah,
creature.
I remember reading about the Death Knight decades ago when it came out in the
It-
Fiend Folio.
It's got
It's a nasty critter.
one of the things
yes.
it didn't get to use on you is its power word. So it has a power
Yeah.
word blind or power word kill or stun. That's the
Yeah,
only thing it
that's-
didn't pull out on you, but everything else I got to use, which was exciting and fun for me. But
Our word kill is like save or die, isn't it?
it's a
Correct.
yeah, it's a 6,000 XP creature.
Good for us.
Yeah, like I said, that's far and above anything else that you've done. So I'll add this, and what I've been doing is putting in the creatures folder in your journal, I've been putting all of the different creatures you've been fighting and trying to keep them somewhat in order of how you've been encountering them. So if you look at that folder, I've added the Death Knight just now. So it's helping us keep track of the different things that you've run into in here, and then you'll be able to reference this. You'll be able to see a list of all the different creatures that you've all fought throughout the campaign, hopefully. There's probably a few things I don't have in here. I'm trying to think of, I know I don't have the cultists and things like that in here, but it's a
The
fairly
ogre, the two-headed ogre on the mountainside, I believe.
Yeah, the Etten. Yeah, the Etten I need to
Yeah.
add. So there's a few things like that might be some one-offs that I didn't include, but for the most part I'm trying to keep the big things in here. So I'll add the Etten and a couple other things. But yeah, that's it.
Oh, the troll.
Yeah, the troll and right after Griff joined, I think the troll was there. Yeah.
Lots of gnolls and Saquin and
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at
Sharks
the
too?
lesser Yugoloth right now. We were talking about that earlier before session. I think that is a funny looking creature. I love it.
It is. It's an abomination, isn't it? It's just
It-
wild.
It's like a rat bat bear.
Yeah.
The bat bear. is
With
what it
ram
is.
horns.
It's awesome.
Very,
I love it.
and it breathes fire. Yeah, it's almost like a chimera is in the mix of things that it has that it can do, but it's like a demon. It's basically like a lesser demon. So yeah, pretty nasty stuff I've thrown at you here in the tower. It's been a lot of fun.
It would make a good plushie. I love it.
Nicely done, guys. It's been fun. Sorry, we started a little bit late. Try to make sure that next time I can get us started on time so we can even get more done. But I thought you did a good job. And you're starting to chip away. And you're on the top floor now. And you're one room in to the top floor. There's 7 more to go. So we'll see what happens next time when we get back.
I'm curious how this tower resolves, because right now I have no idea how we're going to get out of here. What this top leads to. Yes.
Cool.
Thanks, everybody.
Great game.
Cool. All right. Thank you all. Appreciate it. Have a good one.